It is halfway through the season for the Porsche IMSA GT3 Cup Challenge by Yokohama. As the series traveled to the Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, the daunting 2.5-mile, 4-kilometer road course of profound history, best known as Mosport.
For me, it's the most dangerous track in North America.
To me, the most scary track I ever driven.
High speeds, blind corners, and big elevation changes define this track, challenging car, driver, attitude, and emotions.
It's like a monkey with a knife. It's something that you don't know what is going to happen.
It takes confidence to race and win at Mosport, confidence in one's talent, race car, and race team. With 7 races completed in the 2012 Porsche GT3 Cup season, the battle lines are being drawn between drivers and teams.
You know, the competition is very fierce up at the front. Every single race weekend, I've been pushed harder and harder.
Hertz made news as a new series sponsor, adding its identity to every Porsche GT3 Cup car, its marketing support, and Porsche cars to its Hertz rental fleet in select locations in the U.S. Bryce Miller made his own news by moving to the Effort Racing team, joining forces with Michael Mills to create a more formidable challenge to the Wright Motorsports phalanx of Shawn Johnston, Madison Snow, Fernando Pena, and Casey Kuhlman in the Platinum class. In Gold class, the car and driver to beat this season is Angel Benitez Jr. and his 05 Porsche. But Jr. is not without competition. There are other racers confident in their ability and mastery of the Mosport track.
High commitment, high speed, but also high consequences. There are some places where you do not want to make a mistake.
We want the top and we want the 1 and 2, but we'll take 1 and 3 or 2 and 3 but it's that's the goal.
Race 1 for the weekend, race 8 for the season, saw the storylines for Mosport emerge. Shawn Johnston, Bryce Miller, and Michael Mills immediately took to the lead. Benitez Jr. worked his way into a controlling Gold Class P1 spot by lap 10. Back at the front, Johnston and Miller separated themselves from the field, but not from each other, and the intense battle for the win took hold for the first 25 laps of the 45-minute race. The move Bryce Miller made for the lead was one of confidence and validation in his move to Effort Racing. Taking control of the race from P1 and putting pressure on Shawn Johnston to respond created 2 results. First, Shawn, pushing hard, made for some dramatic moments, the last one damaging his front splitter and reducing front downforce necessary to Mosport's high-speed corners. But the save was the display of magnificent car control by Mr. Johnston. 2, Bryce Miller, in winning the race, threw down the gauntlet that he was now in the championship battle. Michael Mills finished 3rd, giving Effort Racing 2 of the 3 podium steps. Behind them, Casey Kuhlman, Fernando Pena, Madison Snow, Sloan Urry, John Baker, and Phil Fogg Jr. kept the action intense. In Gold, Benitez Jr. won. Scott Tucker made a next-to-last lap move in P2, giving P3 to Peter Collins. The first race of a Porsche IMSA GT3 Cup Challenge by Yokohama weekend always adds a bit of tire management strategy to a driver's racecraft. Racers race on the tires they qualify, so when Shawn Johnston took the BBS Pole Award for race 1 and then parked the car in the qualifying session to save tires, Michael Mills put in twice the laps to earn himself a P2 front row start, but used up some of his tire life. So it may have been tire degradation that factored into lessening his chance to win race 1. But race 2 of the weekend puts all the cars back on fresh Yokohama rubber, the starting grid determined by fastest laps in race 1. So, race 2 in a Porsche GT3 Cup weekend tends to create even more race-long intensity. The front of the grid saw more Effort versus Wright team competition. But quickly Miller and Johnston set themselves up for another race-long, race-win fight. In gold, Benitez Jr. worked his way around BBS pole winner David Calvert-Jones of Competition Motorsports. He of racing winning experience but zero Mosport track time until this weekend. Junior's 05 once again worked traffic and pace to establish a race-controlling lead on Calvert-Jones, CJ's teammate Fred Purdy, and Melanie Snow. But late in the race, with less than 2 minutes to go, Angel Benitez Jr. spun off course, handing the win to David Calvert-Jones. In Platinum class, it was Bryce Miller forcing Shawn Johnston into the race-long chase for the win. But the opportunity never materialized, not for lack of trying on the part of Shawn. But Bryce Miller, inspired by his race 1 win, decided this win would come by simply focusing on his race car driving. Bryce was quick when he needed speed, professionally defensive when Shawn attacked, and simply focused on driving his race, confident that being Bryce and not letting Shawn into his head would be the way he would get the win. And so it was for race 2 of the Porsche IMSA GT3 Cup Challenge by Yokohama. Confidence worked for the win. Confidence works when racing a track like Mosport, the Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Confidence will be a determining factor in the remaining races on this Porsche Cup Series.